IGT, baby.
What's cracking, y'all? It's your boy Junior Mafia coming back to you with another video. So we got to talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw, especially how it went down. And just how I expected, Sami Zayn's reign as champion comes to an end. And it's just crazy. We're talking about him holding the title for only 9 days. And just like that, it's over. However, I didn't expect how the whole thing went down, because what I thought after you see me talking about it on SmackDown being spoiled and what could potentially happen from Monday Night Raw completely swerved me. And if it's one thing I always say, I love to be proven wrong. Like, I love, being surprised and not being so predictable. So the fact that happened today was crazy, but we're gonna talk about it right now. So Sami Zayn, he's pulling up to the arena with a drop top and all that stuff, and man, just enjoying his time as champion and just basking in the moment, which he should have knew firsthand exactly how things were gonna go down. So he ended up encountering Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes let him know that tonight I'm gonna beat you and I'm gonna get my title back. And Sami Zayn's just pretty much saying, like, you can say that all you want right now, but I'm gonna keep this title one way or another. And out of nowhere, you see Gunther goes on attack mode on Cody Rhodes, powerbomb this man onto the table, and then turn his attention to Sami, let him know, like, you better thank me that you were able to become champion and all that too. Just pretty much trying to downplay Sami. So in the midst of that, he's seeing Cody like trying to get up, and Cody's close to like Sami's drop top car, so his door was open. So Gunther decides to take advantage and kick the door straight into the face of Cody. He started bleeding and all that too from the side of his ear. Like, it just looked crazy. And after that, of course, they separated him and all. So they said the medical team is just check on Cody for the whole duration of the show, and come to find out, he gonna be able to compete in the championship match later on that night. So as a result, you see Adam Pearce trying to find somebody as a replacement, for Cody, and letting me know that Sami, like, this match is still gonna go on. I gotta find somebody and Cody's replacement for that. So Nick Aldis said that he had made a call to somebody that was willing to take on that challenge and all. And at that moment there, we kind of knew what things were going to go down, especially that Monday Night Raw was in Chicago. So we get to later on to the match, and as that's happening, you see Sami gets into the ring, and the CM Punk chants go loud. And at this point right now, this is when the saxophones kept getting louder and louder and louder, because that's when they reveal who's going to be his opponent. And the way how it happened, you see like the garage gate goes up and Punk is right there making his way through this. That was a good way, to introduce him, coming back. So he walks through the garage all the way to the Gorilla. His music hits, and that crowd was at an uproar, just as I expect. Because one thing about Chicago, that crowd is going to be heavily engaged, especially when CM Punk is in the building. So goes in there, and at this point right now, you kind of know the writing was on the wall off the sheer fact of one, a huge pop, and in this case in the match, Sami is being treated like the heel. So as the match goes on, like, very, very solid. Definitely enjoyed it a whole lot. They both had some offense in the match, and they was trading each other moves. Like, Sami was hitting 2 GTS and landed a Blue Thunder Bomb. And at that moment there, you thought it was going to be over until Punk kicked out. And I was like, uh-oh. Yeah, this is not looking good. So Sami tries to hit Punk with a haluva kick, end up missing. I forgot to bring up that CM Punk been trying to hit multiple bulldogs after the knee strike he would do to Sami in the corner, but Sami was able to keep countering it. So this time around, you see Punk finally executed. But after that attempt on a haluva kick from Sammy, Punk got out of the way and Sammy missed. You see Punk in the corner and he had his own version of a haluva kick and got Sammy on his shoulders, hit the GTS on him for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and he is your new undisputed WWE champion. And I love the callback that he did, where he blew a kiss into the camera, jumps into the crowd and all, similar to what he did in 2011, I think it was, when he went against John Cena and Money in the Bank. So, that was a very, very outstanding callback right there. Crowd was good. They gave him pyro, all that stuff, and you just see Sammy fed up, like he just looked pissed. Now, the time I'm recording this is actually on Tuesday because, you know, I was doing the streaming university thing after Raw went off, so I'm not gonna just do a recap video. But after that, you see Sammy on this complete tirade, and he just pissed off. It's like, you know, here's a guy who haven't showed up in 3 months and all. He comes back, get a title opportunity, and I lose it like that. But the way how he's crashing out was, it made sense, but now it's like, yo, like he can never catch a break. You know, for grinding for 24 years, you know, when it comes to professional wrestling, you get to this moment right here only to get snatched away, you know, 9 days after capturing it. That shit is brutal. And you kind of see the hurt on Sammy's face on that too. And it was like, you know, the writing was on the wall, because we know what the Money Maker match is, especially leading up to SummerSlam, and that is CM Punk versus Cody. You know, you see other matches right now that's going on with Brock and Oba and that Hell in a Cell, Seth and Roman for the World Heavyweight Championship. So you got to have another banger match too. And in my opinion, this was the right call to do so, because now with Punk being champion, it makes SmackDown more interesting to go check out and all that too. Now it's a must-watch situation right now, because you don't know what's going to happen at this point. In this case for Sammy, it kind of sucks because he had the short end of the stick, only to have the title for 9 days, and that's pretty much it. So it kind of sucks, because it kind of resembles The Miz back in 2021 when he won a title, I believe, against Drew McIntyre. I don't know if it was a cash-in or something like that. Y'all can fact check me. And literally when he defended it against Bobby Lashley, got packed up. And I think it was a lumberjack match. I believe it was a lumberjack match, if I'm not mistaken. But I know Bobby Lashley packed up The Miz and he became world champion. That I remember. So it's kind of sucked to see Sammy like that, man. And let's keep it real. I do not envision a circumstance that he gets that championship again. Not the World Heavyweight Championship or the Undisputed. You know, we knew it was going to be on temporary hold for him to begin with. How it happened was just the crazy part. So it is what it is, man. And we definitely want to see how things turns out now. But best believe, when it comes down to the water bottles, you better pray. You better pray. But, you know, there was that. But then I also want to talk about Seth Rollins and LA Knight, but mostly LA Knight. Because Seth Rollins came out there and he pretty much was explaining about how when it came to the Shield, that Roman Reigns was always going to be that guy, you know, who was going to be handpicked in regards to, you know, main eventing, having world titles and all that stuff. And, you know, even on a bad promo, you know, he's still going to get pushed. And how he felt jealous, Seth feeling jealous and wanting to continue to catch up to Roman Reigns, but felt like, you know, it was a competition right there to do so. And he felt like, you know, him putting a chair to his back and all that too, and turning on the Shield was going to give him some type of style in regards to be on the level of Roman and stuff like that, because he felt jealous and he wanted to even lines with him. So as that whole thing going on, it's kind of like falling on deaf ears, because it's like, all right, where are you going with this? So it kept going on, but out of nowhere you hear LA Knight music hits. So he go in to try to interrupt Seth, gets in there, and he pretty much was saying like, you know, you going on this little both of y'all going on this little nostalgia a run right now in regards to, saying each other accolades, like, you did this, I'm proud of you, brother this, proud of you, brother that, blase, only to say that, none of this really matter right now because y'all ain't accomplished, anything in regards to y'all being Hall of Famers. And pretty much brings up that, every time when it came down to me and I'll try to get a push, it's always something that's always blocking me. He bring up a couple years ago when he was on the rise and saying that he's been so relevant, for a long period of time. Who was the first first people to kind of block him from even becoming champion? It was the Bloodline. Then a couple years after that, when he started to build himself back up, getting momentum, got super over right now. Who ended up being that roadblock for him at the time? The Vision. And this when Seth Rollins was a part of it too. And he was saying, like, yo, seeing this happen again, like, that shit comes to a complete end. Like, I'm gonna get back to the top, and I'm going to become champion one way or another, and I'm gonna stop all this nonsense here. So Seth let it be known, like, my concern ain't for you. Like, I got time for you. My main goal is to face Roman and become champion. But once I do that, I have no problem stomping you out. So after that, that's when they ended up leaving. But it's just the way how LA Knight was talking, and you see some truth, you see some kind of jabs he probably giving to Triple H and creative and all that too, because when he gets onto the mic, he is chef kiss. He's that good. He's that good. I say he has the gift of gab when talking on the mic, and in the ring, even though he has little botches and all that too, it's he makes up for it. You feel me? And I'm being a firm believer of LA Knight deserving to become world champion. And if y'all remember, I think I said this earlier this year, when it comes down to the push for LA Knight, I think it was on my stream, or I talked about it in one of my recap videos. I specifically said, if you're going to put LA Knight, finally do it. It has to be a scenario where he wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I know Money in the Bank gonna be coming to New Orleans in October. So he better be in the qualifying match, or he better be winning it. I don't see nobody else winning that briefcase, in my opinion. So I felt it's the right time to do so and finally put the title on this man. He's organically over. And he's been like that for the past, 5 to 6 years so far? So it's like you don't want to keep looking past that. You're just not doing yourself well if you continue to prolong this whole scenario and let this man continue to take losses and not win. So that's how I personally feel about it. But after that segment happened, Steph ended up leaving. And of course, Jimmy Uso ended up attacking LA Knight from behind. And this came out for last week, when they had their match, even though Jimmy ended up winning the match. Solo got involved and got up out of there. So Jimmy Uso about to leave early, leave later on. And he was saying that he going to head over to SmackDown and he going to handle business with Solo. So LA Knight about to give chase to him. I'm about to go pack him up. Out of nowhere, you see Jacob Fatu attacks him and all that as well. And, now I see that he's probably going to be, be that leading guy now, especially with Jay taking some time off. So we'll see how the whole thing turns out. And once again, I just hope that LA Knight do get his moment and become world champion, because I feel like, again, it's long overdue and something needs to happen. But overall, this was a very solid Monday Night Raw. I definitely enjoyed it as well. Comment down below. Let me know, how do you feel about this show? What would you rate it? And how you feel about the whole Sami Zayn losing his title to CM Punk. So I definitely want to hear your opinions down below. And I appreciate y'all love and support. Road to 300 subscribers. Continue to keep God first as the process of anything that you do in life. Your time will come. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Peace.